This is Max Williams with United Real Estate, and today I'm in South Richmond. More specifically, I am off the Cherokee Road corridor. Today we're going to take a look at a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. This home is located here in a nice stately neighborhood. The home was built in 1965. We've got mature pine trees, really nice looking established older neighborhood. This home is a brand new renovation, and we are situated on about a third of an acre. Here we've got a nice privacy fence here all the way around. As you can see, we are coming out of a snow event here in Central Virginia. If you get more than about 4 or 5 inches, it is a major catastrophic event. The poor kids here in some of the counties, surrounding counties, have been out of school since Monday. Today is Thursday. That's including the weekend, so that's a whole 6 days of additional bliss that a lot of parents now have that they didn't necessarily expect. Today I'm going to talk about a topic. It's not going to be related to this home or this neighborhood in particular, but it's going to be a very interesting topic. Today we're going to talk about sex as related to the offenders registry and how it may impact your decision or information gathering process in regards to a real estate purchase. We're also going to talk about how it could impact your situation as a landlord in relation to fair housing. I've done some research, and approximately half of the properties in the city of Richmond are investment properties, or what we call non-owner occupied in the business. So that means someone is a landlord. In many cases, they grew up in the city or was a family home, and then they just simply held on to it and they rent it out. The reason for this topic is I saw a news article, was done by Channel 12 here locally in Richmond, and it talked about a family of 5. The father had a sex offense conviction back in 1999. The family is now homeless, and the reason they're homeless is because no one will rent to them because the father appears on the Virginia sex registry. That is obviously real problematic for a lot of landlords. The situation is explained in the news article, but I didn't want to concentrate on that. I wanted to concentrate on the 12 or 13-minute interview that the reporter had with an attorney from the local legal aid society. He went in depth about how felony convictions impact fair housing decisions. Fair housing is federal law, and it typically includes what we call protected classes. I talked about this a few weeks ago when I talked about the 55 and over community. There are protected classes which include elderliness, race, religion, familial status, which basically means women that are pregnant or with children, and some other classes. The states can individually add additional classes, but they cannot take anything away from the federal protected classes. The attorney went on to discuss how if someone has a felony conviction and that question is asked on the application for rental, if it's automatically a disqualifier, that could be a fair housing violation. I'm not going to try to rehash what he said. However, it was probably about the best 12 or 13 minutes that I have spent as far as on the internet in a long time. I learned a lot of things that I had no idea about. And these are subtleties. These aren't things that you're just discriminating against people because they're one of those classes. These are subtleties that the government has established that you typically wouldn't know unless you were in the business or a lawyer or, unfortunately, had some type of legal action taken against you. If you speak with a real estate professional that's knowledgeable, you will know that you do not want to get caught up in a fair housing issue. It can be an absolute nightmare. It can be very expensive. The people at Wells Fargo recently cut a 7-figure check because there were some issues with how they treated people as determined by some research by a local nonprofit, and it was a very costly mistake that they allegedly made. So you want to make sure that you know all the ins and outs of what you're doing, particularly if you're a landlord. As you have heard me say before, one of my main goals with these videos is not necessarily to sell houses, it's to share information and make sure you, as a consumer, as a buyer, as an investor, are protected. You want to make sure you're protected because you don't know what you don't know. And I definitely had my eyes open in many respects. I'm going to put the link to that news article and, more importantly, to the interview with that attorney who went into some of these details. It was really, really interesting information. If you are considering purchase, those issues are typically not an issue. A lender doesn't care if you've got a felony conviction. They don't care if you're on the sex offender list. As long as you qualify from a credit, income, and debt standpoint, they're going to do the loan. So it's not part of the real estate process as far as purchase goes. Rental, of course, is very, very different because you have an individual or company that's actually making a decision on whether or not they're going to rent to you based on partially your history as a person. Okay, we are going to transition. This was our master. Good looking floors here, good looking condition. This is a brand new rehab here in this home. One of the other things I wanted to share was here in Virginia, that registry not only shows everyone that has been required to register, but it also tells their location, it tells their place of employment, there's a photograph of them, it tells the offense. That registry includes people that are 19 years old, it includes people that are probably 79, male, female, you name it, there are all types of people that appear on that registry. One of the disclosures here in Virginia that we give is that if you are buying a house, it is your responsibility to look at that registry, make sure, if that's important to you, that you are comfortable with the situation in that neighborhood. For some people, it's not going to be a big deal, but for others, that could be a factor in whether or not they move into a neighborhood. One of those things where you don't know what you don't know. I'm not sure if the registry is something that we see in other countries. I know most states in the United States have that registry, and there are mixed feelings about it depending on your outlook, but the courts have upheld that it is legal, and it is definitely an everyday part of life for the people that appear on that registry. Okay, we are now in bedroom number 3. Really good looking home. I like the size of these bedrooms. They're really good size. There's no 10 by 10 tiny bedrooms. This home is definitely well laid out. All right, this is going to be the smallest of the 3 bedrooms, still really good size, good natural light flows in. We've got replacement windows in here and good sized closets as well. You know, sometimes closets on older homes are a little challenge. We've got all wood floors up here in this living area and actually throughout most of the house with the exception of that family room. I was really impressed by the kitchen here in this one as well. If you have any questions about this or any other home in the market, be sure to give me a call. A home like this potentially could be part of the rent-own program. This size, this type of finish is definitely part of many of the homes that do appear in that program, starting from $1,250 a month and up. Max Williams, 804-402-7788 is my phone number. I can reach on Facebook, under Richmond Area Foreclosures on YouTube, under my name, Max Williams Realtor. Thanks so much for taking the tour. Be sure to like and please subscribe. Have a great day.